Now's a good time for us to update Americans' views of the three branches of government. If you remember your Civics 101 lessons, that would be the executive branch, the president, the legislative branch, which would be Congress, and the judicial branch, which would be the Supreme Court. All three of them, of course, housed right here in Washington, D.C. Well, I can tell you that none of the three get very high job approval ratings. We've updated all three recently, but of the three, the president does best. The Supreme Court is in the middle, and it is Congress which is dead last. Let's look first at the presidency. For the 18th quarter of his administration, that would be 2 quarters into his 5th year, or his second term, President Obama is averaging 48%. Now, on a relative basis, that's not bad. It's about where George W. Bush was, below where Clinton and Reagan were in their 18th quarter, but above where Richard Nixon was, as an example. So that's the highest, still under 50%, but the executive branch right now doing better than either of the two branches. Let's skip to the bottom. No surprise, if you've been following us here at Gallup.com, it is Congress which is dead last among the three, 15% job approval rating, our most recent update. That's not as low as it gets. It was 10% at a couple of points last year, but still only 15% of the American public say they approve of the job the legislative branch of government is doing. That leaves us the Supreme Court. Where does it come in? Well, between the two, 43%. That's actually down. That's the recent job approval rating we have for the Supreme Court. Not quite, but almost as low as we've measured it since we've been tracking it in this fashion. Typically it's higher than that, but that's where it stands at this point. A few points below Obama's job approval rating, but way above the ratings for Congress. Interesting look at these ratings by Americans' political persuasion. Democrats are the most positive about all three of the branches of government, particularly the president. Naturally, over 8 out of 10 Democrats approve of the job Barack Obama is doing as president. 58% approve of the Supreme Court, 21% approve of Congress. The Republicans are negative about all the institutions. They're most negative in particular about the president and Congress, but they're more negative at 31% about the Supreme Court than either independents or Democrats. Finally, independents, they're kind of in the middle for the president. 39% approval rating for the Supreme Court, and independents in this country, job approval rating for Congress, 14%. That's an update for you on Americans' views of the three branches of government, and I have to say it again, none of them doing exceedingly well at this point in American history. I'm Dr. Frank Newport, Gallup Editor-in-Chief.